With this year's crocodile hunting season upon us, the hunters came to the river again. Start letting the crocodiles in here to remember the horrors of mankind. Although this year the hunters will face a typhoon and a more varied natural environment. But just be careful. I wouldn't have been struck by thunder from the sky, nor by the strong wind, to be blown into the water with crocodiles. As the sun rises, Troy, king of the swamp, has assembled his crew, making plans for this year's crocodile season. According to the estimates of the Weather Bureau, there may be a strong typhoon this year, a devastating blow to this place, and for a long time. So people have to be prepared. Otherwise, this year's harvest will be very poor. Plus this typhoon, it could lead to power cuts and water outages. People will stay at home again. So Troy decided today, the crowd must catch 20 crocodiles. In this way, it is possible to guarantee the 800 tags obtained were filled in. But to be on the safe side, Troy's got his nephew, which means Callum goes hunting together. And he used to be a crayfish hunter. No experience hunting crocodiles. For this Don from the little sailor, promoted as captain to lead cameler. The god of bad luck has finally worked out. But he's also under the most pressure. After all, you're taking someone with no experience. And Jacob's got a new sailor. That's little Willie next to him. And the reason he's here, it was because of his brother Landon. He's going hunting with his father. So he himself has a free hand. And this news for Jacob, it's totally a bad one. After all, little Willie is not a white boy. But he also has his own hunting style. The two may not get along. But for Jacob, little Willie is still more of a novice. But it still made Troy feel insecure. He dragged his own son along for the ride. What a coward the real Troy is. But if so many people didn't even fill out 800 labels, then none of these people have to work anymore. As the crowd began to set out, it took more than an hour. Troy and his sailor Pickles, and the beginning of today's hunt. Though it's raining now, but this is for Troy. That's not even a thing. He wasn't even wearing a raincoat. It feels like he just wants to be sick, so he can stop hunting behind him. Though what might he think? But he's still hunting for himself today. The rule is 20 crocodiles must be caught. We'd better catch 40. As the two men came to the first trap, Kimchi is also seen falling rope. As the two get closer, Kimchi just grabs it with your hand and pulled the crocodile out of the water. Looks like crocodile season this year. We're about to have a tag creature. With the pickle yanked the rope, Troy saw an opportunity too. It was a bullet to the alligator's head, with the two men pulling it on board. It also marks the official start of crocodile season. Although the two set out, I managed to catch an alligator, but the rain keeps falling. But remind them to speed up. And Jacob and little Willie on the other side. And because of the bad weather, I felt the tension. In this situation, it happens near the end of the crocodile season. I still have a tag I didn't use. After all, if this thing doesn't run out, that means next year's crocodile season, there will be no more labels from any source. So Jacob and little Willie decided, if we don't get 20 alligators today, then I'm not going home tonight. As the two men saw the first trap, it brought the ship closer. When little Willie grabbed the rope, Jacob went for the gun too. And this crocodile saw that. That reaction was really intense. The situation amused both men. At this point in time, just think of the struggle in that struggle. It's a little late. So Jacob saw an opportunity. It took his life right away. And this one flipped a foot alligator. When little Willie resets the trap, Jacob also put a tag on the alligator. But while they were still busy, Ronnie and Timmy on the other side, but not like them. They don't have any rain here, and the big sun, but the typhoon that's coming still let two people a little scared. So Ronnie found a gathering place for crocodiles. That's behind this lock. As the two passed through here, quickly began to go at the trap that was laid yesterday. After all, this place has locks. The opening hours are too short each day. Both men must step up their pace. Of course, it took a lot of money to build this thing. It's not just about curbing the ships. It also has the function of preventing floods. So after the typhoon, they can't keep catching crocodiles here anymore. As the two men came to the trap, Timmy went straight ahead and hooked the rope. As Ronnie took the stuff, Timmy turned back and picked up the gun. As the crocodile is pulled to the surface by Ronnie, that's where Timmy started getting ready. Although the crocodile put up a strong fight, but Ronnie's got a lot of strength. Keep it on the side of the boat at all times. He even pulled it up. Make the death roll not work. That's when Timmy pulled the trigger. With the death of this crocodile, Ronnie quickly hooked the crocodile and pulled it onto the boat. Although this crocodile is 10 feet tall, but they have no time to waste. We have to hurry. Let's go back to morning. Don and Cameler are checking the boat. After they made sure they had everything, they immediately began to lower the boat into the water. Although Don was carrying a pure novice, but Cameler still listens to Don. But that's just the beginning. I don't know what happened next. As the two spent 2 hours into their first trap, Don also asked Cameler to grab the rope first. And before he could catch it, all of a sudden, the gators started running around. But Cameler managed to grab hold of the rope. But he's still a little dumb. With a little bit of force, I almost pulled it into the boat. But the good news is the crocodile was a bit silly. Never took a bite to the boat. And the way he was. And it gave Don his chance. I'm just going to kill him. But this crocodile is a little heavy. Don added an extra rope. The two men then pulled him directly onto the boat. But Don put the label back. The number of 20 crocodiles between the two. There's one less. And 2 people dozens of miles away. This year, Joey decided to bring someone new. It's his daughter, Carly, next to him. Although the weather is very bad now. But it's better for Joey. After all, only after this weather. In order to successfully train new people. Because his daughter has grown up. To ensure that he can inherit the family business. Joey just picked it up. Came to a tree. Decided not to teach theory. I'm going straight to reality. After all, the making of that trap. It's an important part of catching crocodiles. But the good news is Carly is smart. Just tie the rope to the tree through a slip knot. After Joy made sure she got it, the 2 men immediately headed for the trap. With half an hour's journey. And I came to the first trap. So he quickly sailed close. And he caught the rope in his hand. Although this crocodile has some strength. But it still takes one hand to control it. And keep pulling it out of the water. Carly is also very helpful. I put a bullet right into it. As Joey pulls out an iron plate. He tied a rope to the crocodile. And he was pulled to the boat by a noose. Looks like they're in their free time. I upgraded my own boat. When the crocodile was pulled into the boat. 2 people see that this is only 12 feet. That makes Carly want to go home and show off. And on the other side, there's Troy and Kimchi. The 2 have made some gains. But we are far from achieving our goal. Even multiple traps in a row. All without any gain. This made Troy very worried. But the good news is there's something in this trap. Although the rope is caught in the branch. But the Kimchi got him. As she tugs and tugs there. Crocodiles also surfaced. Troy was crushed to death right there. Although when it was pulled onto the boat. Found this one small in size. But the good news is that these days there's not much to worry about. Just look at the numbers. At the same time as Tom and Cameler. Just like Troy and them. It took so long. They only caught 3 crocodiles. This made the new captain's heart very anxious. I never expected this kind of weather. What a huge impact. Although there's a good chance it won't be done today. But the 2 were willing to stay up all night. Following the 2 men to a trap. Turns out the crocodile wasn't in the water. So the 2 men quickly walked to the shore. Cameler was also carrying a stick. And they're constantly teasing crocodiles. Forcing it back into the water. But it opened Don's eyes to opportunity. I didn't expect the crocodile to be here now. Ran straight back into the water. But at least Cameler was able to hook the rope. And pulled it back in. Don also took the opportunity to step forward. One shot to the skull. But at this time, the 2 found. Their own boat seems to want to leave the 2. I made it to the middle of the river. It's a pain to see 2 people. And that's where they started. Argue about whose fault it is. But miserable Cameler was a sailor. No matter whose problem it is. Eventually, he's going to have to deal with it himself. As he made it onto the boat. Also to pick up the alligator and Don from the shore. And Ronnie and Timmy on the other side. 2 people that is more sad. We've only caught 2 crocodiles so far. The problem is it hasn't rained yet. There was even a sun in the sky. As the 2 men approached the trap, I think the alligator's dead. just lying on his stomach and not moving. But when Timmy took a stick and poked it, oh, the crocodile miraculously ran into the water. So Ronnie grabbed the rope and pulled it to the side of the boat, even though the crocodile was rolling around. But Timmy saw an opportunity. Just send him to his death. Although the capture of his crocodile was somewhat tortuous. But the good news is that it turned out well. The two men were still full of joy and went to the next place. But Jacob, unlike those two, not so much luck. Not only is there nothing on the trap, even after catching a crocodile, there's nothing else to gain. This made Jacob very worried. So he stopped trusting the trap, decided to get Little Willie to pull out the triangle hook. Let him do what he knows best. But when they saw the crocodile, Little Willie quickly threw the hook out. But it didn't work out so well, and let that crocodile get away. This is a little embarrassing. And on the other side, there's Troy and Kimchi. After a bit of slump, now it's back to climax again. Not only did they catch several crocodiles, even the rain in the sky became heavier, with the two men in front of a trap. Kimchi also hurried to find a rope, but after she pulled the crocodile to the surface, Troy just fired the gun, but the shot didn't work. But the Kimchi is good. Let Troy take the second shot. Successfully hit the creature, with the two of them on the boat. That's called a happy. After all, we're one step closer to our goal. When the sun rose overhead, Don and Cameler, only 7 crocodiles have been caught so far. This makes them very anxious. Some of them don't even know. What the hell should we do next? But then Don, with the binoculars, suddenly I saw a crocodile. So he quickly set up the Patriots in his hands and aimed the gun at the crocodile. There was a loud noise from the ship. Cameler took the boat up, but when Don threw the hook and pulled the crocodile to the side of the boat, but they're trying to be safe. Don picked up one side of the shotgun again. He was recharged again. The two men then pulled the crocodile into the boat, although they did get another one. But it's still a long way from the target. And Joey and Carly on the other side. It began to rain, although they're not like the others, with all that stress. But this teaching of crocodile hunting, there's still a lot of pressure on Joey. As they saw a dazed crocodile, Joey quickly called Carly. Set up your gun and aim it. Even though Carly did everything she could, but it didn't hit the crocodile. Joey quickly adjusted the gun, but Carrie still missed. It brought down her anxious tears. And Carly's actions disappoint Joey. But this is his daughter. Joey didn't say anything too heavy. And when the two moved forward again, Carrie found another alligator. Quickly throw the hook out, even if it wasn't a crocodile. But Joey was still comforting, while telling him about his skills. It's just that Carrie just can't hook the target. It made him irritable. After all, he doesn't have any help right now. Let's go back to Ronnie and Timmy. It's bad luck for one of us. They're up to now. I only caught 3 crocodiles, and there are only a few traps left. And the water level here, it's going up and up. And this is the lock. It won't be long before it's locked. So the two of them quickly sped up. As Timmy hooked the rope in front of him, Ronnie was there to take it. Because of the urgency of the time, Ronnie's not the same anymore. The crocodile kept being pulled to the surface, although it is there in constant resistance. But it's still firmly in control of the ship, until Timmy was shooting from the side. As they pull the crocodile into the boat, also found distant cumulus clouds, is constantly closing in on the two. This made both men even more anxious, and Jacob and Little Willie on the other side. Now they're close to achieving their goal, even though Little Willie was bad at first. But in the back of the arrest, still a great help. When they see a crocodile again, Little Willie quickly threw the hook out and hooked it firmly, even though the crocodile was rolling around, and made Little Willie fall over. But he was pulled to the side of the boat. Jacob is also very powerful. He just shot him in the skull. I have to say the two work together. That's getting better. It doesn't even need to be multilingual. You can lift a crocodile up to a boat. Joey and Carly at the same time. Also through the rain. So Joy began to patrol the traps. And they are very lucky. See the first trap on. There's this active crocodile, with Joey grabbing the rope. When you start pulling there. But there was an accident. Joey's foot got caught in a rope. But it didn't make any difference, right? As Joey pulls the crocodile out of the water, Carly didn't hesitate and he killed the alligator. As I take it to the boat, and this is the one I found, it's about 12 feet in size. Although Carly is in the front of the study, there are no significant advantages. But the good thing about crocodiles at this distance, you can still shoot it with a gun. And Don and Camel are on the other side. It's not like the two of them, although Camel is a pure novice. But they still managed to catch 19 crocodiles. Now we just need another one. I can call it a day. That's when Don spots another crocodile. So they threw the hooks out one after another. But their skills are terrible. None of them succeeded. I even looked at it for half a day. I didn't find anything. At the same time, Troy and Kimchi. Now we have 19 crocodiles. This makes the two of them happy. Troy even sails fast. That's a lot faster. As they come again to the first trap, the Kimchi also pulls the crocodile straight out. But this one seems a little strong. Dried up all the kimchi on the boat. But this is only so strong. The result is fresh water from pickles. It was taken care of by Troy on one side. There weren't even any surprises. As they pull him aboard, it was a hurry to start home. Looks like they don't want to work anymore. And Ronnie and Timmy on the other side, even though they're still basking in the sun. But this rising river, kept pushing him to speed up. He followed them to the trap. Ronnie quickly hooked the rope, and the moment the crocodile showed up, he pulled him to the side of the boat. Although it's hard to use a stick, but Timmy seems to have found an opportunity. Died with the crocodile scrawl. Two people quickly pulled it to see the boat, although they have not gained much so far. But they don't have time to linger. After all, if the gates were closed, they could be right here. It's in a few days, and not getting any help. As Ronnie continues to accelerate, the two men soon arrived at the lock, and it happens to be open as the two slowly passed, and that ends the hunt for the day. At the same time, the Duffy house. People are also beginning to harvest their own. They showed off to each other. It's just that their approach isn't going to work. After all, the number of arrests. It's basically the same thing. All accomplished the goals Troy set. It's just that Don was able to do it. It's because of Jacob and the others. Caught an extra crocodile. I divided it between them. Well, that's all for this program. Give it a thumbs up, and let's look forward to the next episode. This is definitely going to get you. The adrenaline rush. I mean, it's almost a 4-foot alligator. It only takes one bullet, though. But keep it there. It can still be very exciting. As the crowd weathered a second day of torrential rain, now the weather is fine again. Troy and Kimchi at this time, being headed not to be by others. Good hunting spot. That's the river near this sugarcane field. Due to the previous heavy rain, flush all the water in here, causing the water level in the nearby river to swell. Local people use water pumps for this purpose, trying to get the water back. But this stuff has a loud noise. And often those crocodiles, I really like the sound of it. So Troy thinks, there must be a lot of crocodiles here. Although the two were free yesterday. Set a trap for this place. But I'm still worried. There will be no crocodiles in the traps. After all, it means they've wasted 2 days. But when the two men came to the trap, find that the thread here is pulled straight. Grab the rope with the kimchi. There was a splash on the water. Although this crocodile put up quite a fight, I almost jumped on the boat. But the distance is like a natural gap. There's no way to cross. And the reason is because Troy found an opportunity and sent it straight to heaven. As the two men grabbed the crocodile by its mouth and pulled it straight onto the boat. Although this crocodile is not very big, but means they're here. As Troy inserts the tag and immediately moved on to the next one. And Bruce on the other side, checking out his boat support because he's a little too tagged today. So he decided to stop being a lone ranger. It's about getting a good helper. He also got reliable information that Ashley is not hunting this year. So Bruce went to Anna. I wanted to be my partner. And when she got the news, and I came straight here. But this is the first time they've worked together. There's no good chemistry. So Bruce decided, heading to a nearby crocodile colony, have a quick and easy run-in. Though they both knew it, each other is a trustworthy partner. But when I see a moving trap, I'm still a little nervous. Even Anna forgot to load her gun. As the two approached the trap, Bruce grabbed the rope in his hand too, and the tension is affecting the crocodiles. He tried to jump on the boat, ease the awkwardness with the two of you. And Anna was very happy. But they didn't want a live crocodile. That's why Anna shot him in the head. With the death of this crocodile, he quickly sealed his mouth. And it's a little weird for Anna. After all, the crocodiles are dead. Why do you do this? But considering Bruce's long hunting experience, or no longer deny the practice. Meanwhile, Laurent and Porkchops. It's the first day of hunting for the season. The two want to be able to better last season's results. They decided to do something different this year, specialized in hunting in remote places. And they're going now. It's basically uncharted waters. A lot of people there don't want to go. Not sure why, though. But one thing is for sure. A place like this where no one bothers you. There must be a lot of crocodiles out there. You might even see something strange. As the two are about to reach the first trap, they had an accident. That's the motor on the boat. He just went on strike and quit. This made the two people dumbfounded. But while Laurent was working on it, but the pork chop is constantly complaining. Like a bitch. While they're still there, Zach and Daniel on the other side, en route to their hunting site for the day. Because Dorian's busy right now, Carly's at her dad, Joey's again. So in this particular case, the two work together, and they label pressure. It's basically on both of them. To do so, they must hunt down crocodiles, try to solve all problems. But since the two had never worked together before, they're still relatively unfamiliar. That's why Daniel wants Zach to listen to him and be your own sailor. But Zach was sure of himself. So the two began to bet against each other. Let's see who has the better technique. And the bet is yourself, the alligator hunting tool. As the two begin their search in earnest, it wasn't long before Zach made a discovery. He quickly threw the hook out as he slowly retrieves the line and successfully hooked the crocodile. Because this crocodile is a little strong, Zach couldn't pull it over to the boat. Daniel threw his hook when he saw it, through the efforts of two people, and pulled the crocodile to the side of the boat and pull it out of the water. And the moment the crocodile appeared, just started rolling over there. But Daniel's got a lot of experience. Zach just shot straight up. The two men successfully killed him in this way, with this crocodile slowly on board. Zach won his bets so far. After all, he was the first to spot the crocodile and managed to keep it under control. And now Ronnie and Timmy, but not like the other hunters. Find your own place to catch the crocodile, because he got a message from someone. That's when Timmy came with him. And they're from the Wetlands Foundation. These few people can grow a large number of plants every year to protect these few wetlands. And recently they encounter a problem. There's a huge crocodile. They always follow behind them. This has caused great distress to everyone. After Ronnie had a thorough understanding, and he took Timmy with him, the trap is set for the destination. But they are busy. Let's look at Bruce and Anna. After they caught the crocodile in the first place, began to learn each other's hunting skills. After all, it helps the two get on with each other. When two people come to a trap, Anna quickly stepped forward and hooked the rope and gave it to Bruce. But this one's going a little deep. It took Bruce a long time to get out. I almost thought, this trap is empty, but there's a reason this crocodile is hiding. I didn't put up much of a fight when I was pulled out of the water. Anna shot it when she saw it, as the two pull him into the boat and just put a label on it. But it's a little weird for Bruce. After all, he's used to hunting alone. You can do that if you want. But now I can't be here. Let's go back to Laurent and the pork chop. These two fuckers' boats. Since it took so long, it hasn't been repaired yet. But after a little bit of Laurent messing around, and now we're rebooting it. This is surprising. After all, Laurent still doesn't know. What the hell is wrong with this thing? But now I can move again. He was no longer concerned. He was hurriedly carrying pork chops, headed for their first trap. As they get closer, the pork chop will just hook the rope. When the crocodile is pulled out of the water, I thought I'd just jump on the boat. But it's a good thing he's got a little strength. And pork chop saw that. I don't pull so hard on the rope. But when Laurent pulled the trigger, but the case is stuck. But there were no accidents. With Laurent getting another shot. If we succeed, we kill it. As the two pull him into the boat. And I got my first alligator of the day. And this huge thing makes Laurent feel lucky today. And it's not exactly a place of doom. And the boat can still start. At the same time, Troy and Kimchi, still in the river near the sugarcane fields. But they didn't have much luck, did they? So far, only a few alligators have been caught. Not so much this season, though. But the two looked at such a small number. I decided to set up more traps. As they move on, we've come to another trap, which also happens to be in stock. Grab the rope with the pickle. The crocodile was soon pulled out and controlled it directly to the side of the boat. Although the crocodile is struggling, but still gave Troy an opportunity. I'm just going to kill him. And a crocodile of this size. They killed him so quickly. It's true. I didn't expect it. They're so fierce all of a sudden. And Daniel and Zach on the other side, still fighting each other. Then Daniel suddenly said, "Why get my hands on an alligator? I don't need Zach's help." After all, Zach wasn't even born yet. Daniel's already on the hunt. Although what he said was big, even cows are blown into the sky. But after seeing the crocodile, he just threw the pole. If it succeeds, it hooks it, as he keeps pulling in there. That's what pulled the crocodile to the boat. I guess he didn't say anything big, but the rod is still weak. With Zach throwing the hook, it also pulled the crocodile to the surface. Although this thing is putting up quite a fight, but Zach's got a lot of strength too. With the crocodile under his control, Daniel quickly raised the gun, and a single shot to the head. With the death of this crocodile, two people quickly put it on the boat. When the tag put a crocodile tail on, the match between the two became even. Let's look at Ronnie and Timmy again. After all the traps are set up, I waited for hours. I immediately came to the first trap, and there's something on it, and the crocodile is still on the shore, and not on the side of the water. As Ronnie pulls it out, the crocodile is back in the water, but the sudden arrival of the two, it also makes the crocodile very angry. Over there, trying to get to the boat. But it never worked out. Timmy even got a chance. He was shot right on the spot. With the death of the crocodile, two people quickly pulled it onto the boat. But this crocodile is so small. It's not what they're here for at all. But the good thing is this crocodile. You can still write labels. And on the other side, Laurent and Pork Chops. After overcoming the initial difficulties, the pork chop still feels like the original problem. It's the reason for the curse. It wasn't a sudden accident, was it? And this also makes Laurent very speechless. There was even a tantrum. You just put the pork chops back in. As the two men came to the trap, I got back to my normal work. After all, no matter what the fight is, right? But when this hook is pulled out, but it turns out it's empty. And that's the pork chop. More than confirmed that something was wrong here. And Laurent on the other side is beginning to wonder. But when Pork Chop resets the trap, all of a sudden, Laurent saw an alligator, and that put him at ease in an instant. After all, knowing about the alligator escape, it's better than thinking it's supernatural. Meanwhile, Anna and Bruce, two people after making a trap, he quickly went to the next place. And when the two get closer, Anna hurried forward to hook the rope, with crocodiles on the surface. But when Bruce took the rope, the crocodile's resistance was suddenly stronger. It made Bruce feel bad. But the crocodile has a leak. Anna just grabbed him. This makes the two very happy. But after Anna pulled the gator out, but the whole person is very disappointed. This is just fighting off a fierce crocodile. It's amazing how small you are. And Daniel and Zach on the other side. Although the two currently have a boatload of crocodiles. But the bets are not over. But Daniel has shown the lead. And that makes Zach desperate for a giant alligator, to prove he's a crocodile killer, and win Daniel's bet, with the two men searching for half an hour. That was a sudden smile on Zach's face. So he quickly walked forward and threw up the fishing rod in his hand. As he managed to hook the crocodile, it was an effort to pull it back. As the crocodile is pulled nearby, Daniel threw the hook too. As the crocodile is pulled to the surface, Daniel just pulled back. As Zach fired his gun, the two managed to kill him when they pulled the crocodile into the boat. And this one was found to be 11 feet long. It's also about getting back on top. At the same time, Ronnie and Timmy, still looking for signs of giant crocodiles. And they work very hard. There were hardly any stops on the road. Constantly looking for crocodiles. Followed them to the trap. Haven't pulled the gator yet. I saw it struggling. So Ronnie quickly stepped forward and pulled the rope, with the crocodile out of the way. Timmy fired the gun right from the side. No, these two are all of a sudden fierce. As the two men pull the crocodile into the boat, Ronnie also quickly inserted the label. And on the other side, there's Troy and Kimchi. It's also a trap, but a twig tied to a rope. It's already been ripped off by a crocodile. This made the two men very surprised. But the crocodile is still here. Pull it out with the pickle. Find out the size of this thing. That's huge. I almost pulled the pickle into the water, but there was no follow-up from the crocodile. It gave Kimchi a chance to bring it back to the surface. And just for a moment, Troy put him to death. With the death of the crocodile, two people quickly pulled it into the boat. Troy quickly stepped forward to plug in the performance. Meanwhile, Anna and Bruce. Not sure why, though. Bruce suddenly began to cry. Looks like we found a loaded trap. As they get closer, only to find the crocodile on the shore, and seems to be stuck there. So Anna quickly picked up her gun and slowly moved up. He took a bullet right at it. With the death of the crocodile, quickly went forward to pull it out. But this thing is too big. The two can only get it on board by pulley. And up north, Laurent and Pork Chops. Two people are still in that constant fear. I'm worried about this trap. It's the same as the previous one. I ran away on my own. With the pork chop, the rope is tied. He quickly pulled the crocodile out. It's just this thing rebelling. Seemed a little too intense. Just pouring water on a boat right there. But it was controlled by the pork chop. As Laurent fired his gun, just killed the crocodile on the spot. When they get on the boat, the crocodile was found to be 2 meters tall. And that's what they are today. First time I got a crocodile this big. This made the two very excited. While they were still there having fun, Ronnie and Timmy on the other side. There's only one trap left. But they didn't get your hands on any giant alligator. But I got a bunch of crocodiles. As they came to another trap, it turns out this crocodile is pretty big too. And it's on land too. As the two men walked to the shore, the crocodile appears to be more than 3 meters tall. So Ronnie went up to him. A stick for the crocodile. That scares it right back into the water. This surprised the two men. But the crocodile didn't go in. Instead, it's hanging there. So Timmy took the gun. I pulled the trigger on it. As the two men stepped onto the boat, pulled the crocodile right into the river. When the two men pulled him into the boat, it was very exciting. On behalf of the foundation here, and the maintenance of the wetlands in the back, will become more secure. And Daniel and Zach on the other side. A crocodile was spotted again. So Daniel quickly picked up the fishing rod and to the position of the crocodile. I just blew it off as he keeps returning to the line. The fishing rod suddenly buckled. This made Daniel very happy. After all, it means crocodiles are big. With Zach stepping in to help, as a crocodile is pulled to the surface. Daniel was about to let go of the gun. Zach was pulled into the water, but there were no surprises. Instead, it regained its high position, with Daniel finding an opportunity, and sent it straight to heaven. As they pull the crocodile into the boat, they managed to get a bunch of giant crocodiles. A two-man race at the same time. There's also a result. As he took Zach's fishing rod, that's Daniel winning. At the same time, Troy and Kimchi already got a boatload of crocodiles, and they're not small. With them came the final trap. Kimchi quickly grabbed the rope, with crocodiles on the surface. Troy quickly fired his gun, but it didn't hit. But the kimchi is good, and it pulls the crocodile to the surface. Got Troy to take another shot at it. With the death of the crocodile, two people quickly pulled it onto the boat, and these giant crocodile hands. That made Troy very proud. After all, it means he made the right choice. And Bruce and Anna on the other side. It's the end of the day's hunting. So they decided, let's celebrate today's victory. After all, this is their first collaboration, and it was very successful, though their celebration was simple. But they do it for each other. Make one of your favorite dishes. Well, that's all for this program. Give it a thumbs up, and let's look forward to the next episode.